Hey there, and thanks for tuning in today. This is Phil Ratcliffe with Rebel Financial. Today, we are super lucky to have Scott Henderson here with Qube Money. So thanks for coming, Scott. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be, coming to this interview in my car. So
Right. And it's really it's early in the morning because we're East Coast and you're out in Mountain Time and you just had a baby. So we appreciate you kind of fitting us into the family schedule and getting this a little earlier so we can get it out for everybody.
No worries.
So Scott is the marketing manager for Qube Money, and he's going to tell us all about it, but a little bit about his background, which I found really interesting. He actually has a master's in financial planning, used to be a financial advisor for a fee-only planning firm, which is close and dear to our heart. So it's pretty cool to have somebody in fintech, financial technology company that's marketing, that really understands where we're coming from, and probably make this very useful to our viewers and watchers that want to learn something that hopefully can help them. So Scott, tell us a little bit about Qube and what it is.
Yeah, so if any of your listeners are familiar with the cash envelope system, really that is one of the most successful ways to budget and change financial behavior. And it has been for who knows how long, hundreds of years. I mean, might have been something your grandparents did. And the thing is it works. Like being able to divide up your cash into different envelopes and give each dollar a purpose makes you very intentional with your spending.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the big drawbacks for a lot of people is the cash envelope system. It's hard to implement over a long period of time. Sure, you might stick with it for 2 months or 3 months, but for most people, going to the bank, getting cash, stuffing cash envelopes, and then just the hassle of managing all that, it becomes a lot for people. It can become a little complicated. And so people just kind of give up. And there's a lot of people that have tried different budgeting apps that kind of replicate the cash envelope system, but really there hasn't been anything to date that's been super effective.
Mm-hmm.
So Qube Money, the whole purpose is we are a bank and a budgeting app combined into one to digitize the cash envelope system. So it comes with your own debit card, your own app, and you can create as many cubes, is what we call them, that replicate envelopes, and you actually can spend from those envelopes with your debit card. So we actually have a patented technology, and we make it easy for people to save money and stick to a budget.
That's awesome. I had a tough time totally understanding exactly what it was, and I watched a couple of your explainer videos here on your website. So for those of you that aren't as familiar with the cash envelope system and then how Qube could make it digital, I think you guys did a great job with this video. We'll post the link below this if you're watching it on any of these. So take Scott's explanation and then back it up with some video if you're more of a visual learner, right?
Yeah.
Well, good deal. So tell us what you started getting into it, but tell us what makes it different, because there are a lot of budgeting apps and software and stuff out there. And it sounds like you guys really are trying to do something different. So tell us a little bit about what makes it different.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of free banks out there, right? A lot of new online mobile banking apps that really are trying to make it easy for people to avoid fees and to make online transactions and everything digital really easy. But on the flip side, those banks aren't really that great at providing budgeting features. They provide banking features. On the flip side, you've got budgeting apps that are, maybe charge a subscription.
Or they're selling your data, right?
Yeah. Or they're selling your data and they're trying to get you to purchase, things or policies or credit cards or something like that because they've got to make money. But they're not banks. So you're usually, syncing your bank up with the budgeting app.
Yes.
And pulling in data. And all it is really tracking. Most of these budgeting apps, whether it's free or paid, all it's doing is showing you in the past what you've done. It's not really helping you proactively budget for the future.
Yeah.
So what Qube Money is we are a bank and a budgeting app in one. So we're a full suite bank, we're a budgeting app, plus we're a peer-to-peer payments app. So meaning you've got basically your bank, your budgeting app, and Venmo all in one app. That
Right.
makes
I was just going to say that. So hopefully when you get bigger and bigger adoption, then people will just be on there and you would be able to just shoot the money over.
Exactly. So usually when somebody sends you Venmo money, it goes into your Venmo account and then you transfer it to your bank, right? Most people don't spend out of Venmo, but if people adopt Qube fully, it's like you're using your bank and you're sending money.
That is
directly.
awesome. Do you guys have any plans to make partnerships or integrations with like Venmo, PayPal, or anything like that? Or no? Yeah.
Nope. The way we're coming at it is we really want to, build a solid relationship with our user base and become some primary bank and compete with some of these other fintech companies.
Cool. So, so many of the apps out there are free. And I see you guys are going to have like a free version with like a freemium model, right? Where you can upgrade. So why kind of change that? And then how do the merchant fees and everything kind of work just kind of transparently on that?
Yeah, so the reason we're offering a basic free account is we want to stay competitive with those online banks. We're going to offer the same features, the same things you can do with any bank, right? Direct deposit, mobile check deposit, transferring money, all that kind of stuff. Eventually, we're going to offer high yield savings as well for those savings cube, but not yet.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be competitive with a lot of those free services. And how those banks make money and how we'll make money even on the free version is those merchant fees like you talked about. So anytime somebody swipes a card, we've got a partnership with Visa where we earn basically a kickback anytime somebody spends money. So like obviously we all need to spend money, but we just want to help you do it more intentionally, and that obviously helps us out when you swipe the Qube Money card. But at the same time, we've got different features that we'll charge for. So we'll have a premium version and a family version that come with a whole suite of other features that we're really excited about.
So just out of curiosity, and I imagine it kind of came from the partnership with Visa, what is the Plaid for in there if the money's like with you already, Yeah,
and I think it's worth explaining that, I said we are a bank, but we're actually a neobank. So what does that mean? A neobank is basically somebody that partners with an actual bank. So at Qube Money, we don't actually store your money. It's housed with our other partner, Choice Financial Group, who's been around for over 100 years. They're very well established in the banking space. And so all of your money is FDIC insured. It's super secure. And it's just like it's stored at any other bank. So that's obviously something that's really important to us, is making sure that people understand that your money is safe. So with Plaid and our partnership with them is what Plaid is really good at doing is making accounts talk to each other. So for example, I'm not sure what your clients use or if you use software. I know when I was in financial planning, we used eMoney.
That's what we use. Yeah.
So we could aggregate their Wells Fargo account, their investment, all those things into one place. What Plaid allows us to do is just that. We're able to link to other people's bank accounts, eventually their other accounts, so they can get a holistic view of their finances in one place. So that's what Plaid enables us to do.
So you're thinking ahead in the future and not just doing the budgeting, but organizing more wholly the entire financial picture as well.
Eventually, but for now, the great thing about Plaid is they can link their bank directly and transfer money between banks.
I do like that about Plaid, is like you don't have to do those stupid micro deposits and stuff. It's like boom. I remember when I first tried it, like, wow, I wouldn't try it. It was like 4 or 5 years ago when I was trying to connect my like crypto through Coinbase and Gemini. I think they were like really early adopters. I didn't trust that. I was like, I'm not giving you my login to my bank. You think I'm an idiot, But that was back before anybody knew really what it was. And I had to do a bunch of research about it, and that's how I figured out who they were.
And Plaid, they've been super successful these past couple years. They actually got acquired by Visa.
I saw that. I saw an article that Department of Justice is giving them some some wrangling. So
Some
we'll see what
hard
happens
one.
with that. Right.
That was a really big acquisition, and actually back in January I had a chance to meet the CEO and a couple of the big players at Plaid and just kind of ask them, you know, about the whole acquisition. And Plaid's got a lot of good things going for it. I mean, there's a lot of companies that want data, and being able to aggregate your accounts securely
Mm-hmm.
is more and more important for every single fintech company. And our data, so when you log into your bank through Qube Money, it's all
Mm-hmm.
encrypted end to end. It's super secure. We don't store your username or password or anything like that. So that's what Plaid enables us to do.
Okay. I have one more kind of curiosity question, because I think this is what I think makes your app so well. And I screen shared again just to kind of, so I could demonstrate this for people. But when people like allocate money to these cubes, the money's not actually on the card. And when they go to say, this is in your video, and if I don't explain it well, you guys watch the video. But say they go to the grocery store and the bill is $100, they click that, and then the money goes straight to the card. How do you guys make that so fast that it practically works, right? And is there instances in where there's a delay and then you're holding up the grocery line or something like that? To me, when I watched that, I was like, oh, whoa, that's cool, but I wouldn't want to be that person either, you know?
Exactly. And this is one of the big challenges that we've had. And you and I talked a little bit before we started that before Qube Money, it was proactive budget for about 2 years. And they made a couple of pushes to really try and get this system out there. And that was the issue they kept running into, was sometimes they'd try to open up a cube and it would delay. It would kind of give this, they called it the death of, or the wheel of death, where it just kind of like, is it going to open? So when we rebranded and relaunched, we got with some amazing developers. Actually, the developers that have helped us get the app to where it is today are the same ones that created Robinhood, that were with Robinhood for the first 2 years. And they've done an incredible job. So we've been testing the app for months now. And I don't know if you saw the video, the real-time transaction testing, but it's so fast.
That is fast.
You open a cube and the money immediately becomes available on a debit card. So what we call it is it's default zero technology, where the card is actually super secure because there's no money on it, right? If you don't open up your phone and open a cube, it's basically a piece of plastic. So if you use it, you don't have to worry about somebody stealing your money. They'd have to hack into your phone, open a cube, and then spend it. So it's actually, there's two benefits to that. It's super secure, and it helps you be intentional with your spending. Like,
yes, you have to do an extra step. Yeah.
So you look at the cube and say, okay, do we have enough? No. Well, do I transfer money or do I just put it back?
Right. Your users, have to be intentional. And I think sometimes you have to plan ahead. I think about that, and it's just like when I go to Lowe's and Home Depot, probably my favorite stores. But my Lowe's is a bunker. There's no internet or like cell signal in there, so I'd have to like put the money in there before I walked in the store.
Totally. Exactly. And we just moved into a new house in September, and I've been to Lowe's and Home Depot, I can't even count, in the past couple of months. Just so like,
I'm wearing you out. To me, that's like my Macy's or Kohl's, the girls. I like to go there. I don't need anything.
Exactly. I love those stores. So it's funny that you bring that up. And so far, I haven't had any issues with service in Home Depot. Maybe that's just the stores.
The one it is, yeah.
But that is a concern for some people. It's like, well, what if I don't have great cell service? You can, like you said, plan ahead.
So
the way it works is when you open a cube, it's actually open for, by default, 30 minutes. You could change that to 2 hours, 1 day, 1 week, if you were going to go on like a long vacation where you knew you weren't going to have cell service. You can really spend as many times from an open cube as you want without ever being connected to the network.
Cool.
So there are some things we've done to make that as easy as possible, but for some people, it's like a concern. Is it going to open? Am I going to have service? But actually, when you do it a couple times, you realize how easy it is, and it just becomes nature.
I imagine. And you will build confidence with it. So like it's like technology you do, because obviously we've all had lots of bad experiences, but then when you get one that works consistently, then you just like build that confidence that it's going to work. And you learn the things that are quirky, just like I made that example, the Lowe's thing, and you just you have a routine in what you do. So the next thing I wanted to ask you about is we're a big Dave Ramsey like ELP partner. And obviously he was a big proponent of cash envelopes and what so. Was that your inspiration for doing this? Is there any kind of partnership with Dave, or do you think that maybe you would have in the future?
Yeah, so it's a good question. Anytime we talk about this system, most people are like, "Oh, that's like Dave Ramsey's system." What's funny is it's not really Dave Ramsey's system. I mean, it's been around for a long time, but he's very much
You popularized
popularized it.
it. Yeah. Okay.
He's made it mainstream. He's made it seem like it's a normal thing to do. And there's millions of people who have tried or are continuing to use the cash envelope system. So,
Yeah.
but there's also a bunch of other budgeting experts out there that use the system as well, and don't give him any credit. It's just
Sure.
it's an effective system. And so to answer your question about like, will we eventually partner with Dave Ramsey? I'll kind of give you our thoughts on that. So he's obviously in a position where he's helped millions of people. He's
Right.
been really effective with, paying off debt, helping people save. But he's also in a position too, where if he really wanted to take every dollar to the next step and do something like this, he probably could.
Sure.
And it could just squash us.
Yeah.
We're obviously still very early stage. We've got a lot of people that are Dave Ramsey enthusiasts that find out
like
about
it.
us.
Yeah.
And they're, oh my gosh, I want to jump on board. I want to use this. This is exactly what we were looking for. So we kind of want to sort of rise through the ranks without making a ton of like noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just really build a solid user base of people that really love our technology and our system, and hopefully eventually one day compete with Every Dollar and Dave Ramsey. We don't have any plans to partner with him or
right now. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you don't want to get Amazon, right? Or like that's what they're accused of, right? Of like acting like they're going to invest in people and then just stealing their ideas.
Exactly. I mean, or what Facebook does. I mean, we call it, zucking, where Mark Zuckerberg, he'll see an idea like with Snapchat or TikTok or something like that, and he'll just copy it,
Yeah.
And he's very successful, and they'll be more successful than these companies that came up with the idea. So we actually don't. I mean,
you got a patent on that, moving the money over from the cubes to the card, though, right?
Exactly. Yep. We've got one patent, and we're trying to get some more patents on other things like automated debt payoff and subscription controls and things like that. So
awesome. I like to see stuff like this because I feel like a lot of the budgeting apps or convenient spending things or credit card rewards, like they're not really there to help people. It does make things more convenient, but they're there to maximize profits for those providers versus helping the people. And again, I think that's where a lot of the consumer debt and stuff has come from. And so, yes, I mean, like, I absolutely think you guys should get to make money if you make something awesome, right? But like, why can't you make win-win solutions, right? To where it's like people can be more fiscally responsible, live better lives, be able to use more of their own money, pay down debt, build up good behavior. I think it seems like an awesome thing. So I saw one of your models, and it's in one of your videos. Again, you guys have got some good videos there that you're like maybe going to build in like cards for kids and chores and stuff like that. And I use one called Busy Kids to where we do that, and the kids actually check off the chores, and then I pay them at the end of the week, and then they get split it up between spending and saving and giving, and then I kind of big brother what percent goes into each of those. But is that like something that you guys kind of envisioning, or maybe partnering with someone like them, or what do you think about that?
Absolutely. So if you kind of understand the background of Qube Money and the founders and what they're trying to do, they're very mission driven. They're very much interested in helping couples get better at managing money together. They're very much interested in helping families help their kids be smarter with money.
Right.
And
that's important.
When I joined the team last year, they said, Scott, one of our biggest focuses and goals is we want to decrease the divorce rate by 1%.
Wow.
We know that finances is one of the main causes of divorce. And if we can help people be better with money, we think we can have a slight impact on people divorcing. And that's obviously something near and dear to us. And we want to make sure that we're not only providing an awesome budgeting app, but we're literally changing the lives of our users by helping them be better with money and with their relationships. And so getting into, if you look at the premium options, I mean, that could be for individuals, but it's also geared towards couples.
Right.
And then step up from there is our family features. So you mentioned Busy Kid. Is that what it is?
Busy Kids. Yeah.
Oh, Green. I don't know if you're familiar with Greenlight, but they're probably one of the most.
I have looked at that too. Because I researched all of them when I was thinking about implementing it. Because I was like trying to do stuff with my kids. I'm like, there's got to be a better way to do this to where they can be involved and motivated rather than me just getting on their back and then giving them some money sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Greenlight has been really successful. I believe that they launched in 2017. They're an Atlanta-based fintech company that's been solely focused on kids and parents. And I believe they just raised 215 million in a Series C, and they're actually partnering with Chase. I think it's called Chase First. Is something Chase is going to want to dip their toes in more. Is offer more control for parents to give their kids debit cards and help them with chores and all that kind of stuff. So it's also something that Venmo and other companies are wanting to get into as well, because there's such a big opportunity. The thing is when you understand like what banks are after, they obviously want to make profit and they want to keep people users for life.
For a long time, yeah.
And if they can get college students, teenagers, younger generation people using their app early on, they're most likely going to stick with them for the rest of their life. And so it's an important thing for banking, but for us, that's not really the motivation. It's more of, we just want to help parents and give them tools to help their kids. And so in that video where the kid gets a debit card, depends on his own.
Yeah.
What's great is you'll have complete control and view over your kid's app. So you can transfer money to them, or they can get paid however they're making money. And you can help them set up a tithing or a give cube. You can help them set up a savings cube, a spending cube for something that they want to spend their money on.
That's cool.
Just like they would.
So when they have that card, they have their own Qube app that they're going to learn to practice that. The Qube cash envelope as well too. It's not just they can just spend on the card.
Exactly. So they'll have their own app, their own cubes. They can do those types of things, and parents can they have their permission controls to kind of change. We're still in development right now with the family feature. It's not quite available, but we've got a bunch of beta testers on the app testing the basic core functionality of the app, and everything works great. But we'll continue to iterate and improve on some of these features. And honestly, kid cards is probably one of the things that people are coming to us for more than anything else, is they really like that feature.
Okay. So kind of finishing up here, how is adoption? I know you guys are getting ready to finish up with your beta and launch nationally. So like, give us a little bit of the timeline on that, and where do you see things coming down the line?
Yeah. So timeline, we officially began alpha, which is kind of internal testing on June 10th.
Okay.
We did that for about 2 months. So everybody within the company was in the app by August 10th. And then August 11th, we started onboarding all of our beta testers. So we've got about 400 beta testers, and we basically said, okay, the next step then is we've got a waiting list and lifetime members. So you pulled up that page, but
I did. Yep.
We're offering lifetime membership, where if somebody knows they want the kid features or if they want the family features, they can actually purchase one time upfront a membership. And so you can avoid the monthly fee, and we're also offering a buy one get one 50% off right now.
Oh, that's cool.
For the holidays. So
you could gift it to a family member or what? So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So we've got about 1,100 lifetime members that we've started inviting into the app, and we're getting a lot of those lifetime members into the app right now. And then the next step, once they're
doing a lifetime member, is a way to jump kind of to the front of the testing line too.
Exactly. So you get priority access as soon as you purchase a lifetime membership. You can start using the app. Otherwise, our other option is our waiting list. So if you go to get early access up at the top
there, and then just fill in right there.
If you enter your first name, last name, email, and click submit, it'll actually show you which place you're in line. You can move up the list if you share the link with your friends and family, and they also join the waiting list. But we've got a waiting list. I think last time I checked, the waiting list is somewhere around 11 or 12,000 people.
Wow.
That we're going to be rolling this out to. So that's our goal, is just to get all of those people into the app by the end of the year. And then we're going to be making a really big push in January, where we're in the app store, we're public, we're live, and we're trying to take this to the masses.
That's awesome. And then obviously that will add more efficacy for like peer-to-peer. And obviously if you have a bigger base, then you'll be able to develop faster and win so as well too. So awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Scott. Is there anything, kind of lastly that you'd like to leave with our viewers about the app, budgeting, anything?
Yeah, just kind of summarizing that, we'd love for any of your listeners to visit our website, sign up for the early access list, share it with your friends and family. But we're also offering a sweet deal on the lifetime memberships. And so if you go there and purchase a lifetime membership, we offer 100% money back guarantee. So if it doesn't meet your expectations at any point, we'll just refund you the money, no questions asked. So it's really we feel like it's a win-win. And we're actually kind of like, what are we doing giving away lifetime memberships? Because it's such a great deal. And, we end up in the long run losing money if somebody purchases a lifetime membership, but it does help.
I guess you get some fans, right? And it's not going to be a huge part of your base that really takes off, right?
Yeah. Well, I'd say if anybody is slightly interested in this, take advantage of the lifetime membership offer, because that's probably going to be ending in January. And
so when you do the couples or the family, then you get two. It's 2 people, right? Yep. 2 primary users. Okay.
Purchase, for example, the premium lifetime membership, you'll get 2 cards. You'll each have your own card, and you'll have shared cubes. So you'll have an account you can both spend from the same cubes. And then if you purchase a family, that comes with 2 adult cards and up to 10 kid cards. So it's not just for your kids. You could also do, give your grandparents a card. You could give a nanny or a babysitter a card and help them set a budget and say, okay, you've got this much to spend this month, and they can't spend more than that. So it's kind of interesting.
That is cool. Well, thanks so much for being here, Scott, and especially taking early time out of the family. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm super glad you guys invited us to be on the show, and I hope that we're able to help your listeners.
I think it looks like you guys are going to be able to. So thank you all for spending some of your Friday with us and learning some more about this awesome new app that hopefully will help a bunch of you out. Join us next week as we're doing our financial planning subject for open enrollment and benefit season. Then the week after that, our next book review, Infinite Game by Simon Sinek. So should be a good one. I hope you guys have a great weekend and are having a good start to fall. Thanks again, Scott.
Thank you. Take care.